Two dudes, one VHS. Rewind the time, no need to guess. Pop it in, press play, don't stress. It's a movie night, pure retro mess. Old tapes, big last memories flash. We're kicking it back when classics last. So grab some snacks and don't you fret. Two dudes, one VHS.
Hey guys, welcome back to Two Dudes, One VHS. It's Roma.
And it's still me over here.
So we're back for the rewatch of the movie True Lies that we did last week. I'm taking reins on this one today. As you guys know, I'm not very organized like Alex is, so you will see me moving my head back and forth because I have a separate monitor on the side here. So just giving you guys a heads up. I will not be focusing on you guys all the time. Alex, so we rewatched this movie. What were your thoughts? We're not going to do the rating yet. We'll do that at the end, but what were your thoughts of the rewatch?
My rewatch went fairly well. I just watched it with my wife.
Yep.
And I was attentive, even though I've seen it a couple of years ago, many times before that. I can't even count how many times I've seen this. Because it is, like we've mentioned before, it's one of those movies that comes on TV and you'll watch it from whatever point you're at.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to start it at the beginning to enjoy it.
Correct. That I agree.
So, yeah, I was right in there.
Right in there. I was not doom scrolling while I was watching it like Super Mario movie. Sorry, just had to throw that one out there. But yeah, it was a really well done movie. Rewatched it with the kids. Kids couldn't stay up late enough to watch it, so they went and passed out in bed. But I finished it, and it was really well done. Enjoyed it. So let's dive right into it. I got some IMDb stuff here going. So this movie was filmed in 1994. It was directed and co-written by James Cameron, which everybody knows James Cameron for movies like Avatar, Terminator 2, Aliens, those kind of things. Great director, famous director. He's had his hand on a bunch of movies that were literally gold. I don't know of any movie that he did that was not good, in my opinion.
Titanic. No, that was good.
He has over 60 movies that he's directed. And I'm looking through this list and I don't see a single one that looks bad. Well,
did he I may be mistaken, but did he direct Ice Pirates?
He did not direct Ice Pirates. No. If you're watching this, Colton, that's towards you.
If you know, you know.
You know. Anyways, he was one of the also co-writers to it, which there were two other writers. There was Claude Zidi, which I have no idea who he is, but he didn't do very much that I could see. True Lies was pretty much his biggest one that he did. There was one called My New Partner. A lot of his stuff is very, I think, from Paris kind of thing. It's not really something that would have been in North America. Second writer was Simon Michael. Again, same thing. A lot of French movies, nothing really something that I would have watched. But focusing on the main actors, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Arnold, Bill Paxton. The villains, let's see, Art Malik. He was also in a few other movies as well where he was obviously a terrorist for pretty much every movie that he's ever been in. So I guess that's his role. Great guy. From some of the reviews that I've seen, some of the interviews that I've seen with him, he's actually a really good guy, but he's made his money doing terrorism, I guess, in movies. And then one of my first crushes that I had from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you probably know who this is, Eliza Dushku.
Yeah.
Dushku.
Yeah. God. I thought you were going to say Arnold.
But okay. He's also one of my crushes, but Eliza was, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Bring It On. Those movies were, again, as a child, great movies.
Yeah, she was amazing in that. She was in shows like Dollhouse and True Calling. They were all great. Unfortunately, they all got cut short. It's a shame. She was really cool.
Really cool.
She's a bit of a nutbag now, but
I think wasn't that why they pulled her from all those other new shows too? Is because she was a nutbag?
No, like she's like a political nutbag now. Like we won't go political on this show, so we won't talk about it. But she overposts and stuff like that.
The other
well, let's before we pass on Eliza. Very sad story about her is she was assaulted during the filming of this movie. The stunt coordinator had, I don't know what the words that get flagged are that we can or cannot say due to AI picking them. But yeah, she was working one-on-one with this fella, and I guess things got out of hand, and he took advantage of her.
Wow.
She was only 13.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So she's come out publicly and talked about it a couple years ago.
I did not know that. Then there's the second female character in here, Tia
Tom
Carrere.
Arnold. No, sorry.
Well, Tia Carrere,
Yeah. Filipino actress.
Filipino actress. I remember her from Wayne's World. That's pretty much the only thing I remember her from.
Yeah.
We're not worthy. Oh, such a great movie. We need to rewatch that one too. That was a great movie. She also did some voice acting for Lilo and Stitch. You remember the TV show Relic Hunter?
Yeah, it was the fake Tomb Raider.
Yeah. I was like, that was like literally the fake Tomb Raider. But I think it didn't that come out before Tomb Raider?
No, not before the first video game.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
All these other actors, we already know them. We already love them. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis. They have such wide variety of movies, TV shows, special appearances. Great actors. And they had their little special moments in this movie itself. It was such a good movie with them in it. I think they picked the best cast for a spy movie between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. So we'll see how it goes with the review.
Okay.
All right.
Which is right now.
Which is right now. All right. Sorry, guys, throat. So we're going to start off with the main scene, opening scene. They are in, I believe, Russia is where they are. They are going to this massive mansion. I don't know what it is, but every supervillain has a massive mansion in a snowy area. Like, it's got to be like a thing for
Very Bond.
Yeah, very Bondish kind of thing. And then you see some guy in scuba gear underneath the water, and he's welding, I would say, the gates.
Well, yeah, it was cutting.
He was cutting the gates to get access to this party. And as soon as he comes through, breaks the ice, it is, lo and behold, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the main character of the movie.
Completely dry.
Well, his suit was wet.
Right. But I don't know if that's how it works. I don't know.
Movie magic. We always bring it back to movie magic.
Sure.
So it takes off his wetsuit, completely dry. He plants a bomb right off the bat just in case. And he makes his way into the gala and does his spy work. He's going up the stairs. What did you have that I missed?
No, it's not something you missed. I'm trying to remember back to which rewatch it was.
Okay.
But I am 9.9% sure last time you called it a gala. Now you're calling it a gala. I'm pretty sure.
I did not.
I
say
gotta go
gala.
back and rewatch which movie would have had a gala in it?
The only one that we watched was the one with Eddie Murphy and what's it called? What the hell's his name? Dan Aykroyd. That was the only one that had a gala in it.
I need to go back because I'm pretty sure you said gala once and I corrected you.
No.
But anyways, you said gala this time.
I did not say gala. I said gala.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Anyways,
sorry.
Into the gala, and then this is where you see your first shot of Tom Arnold, and I can't remember what the other gentleman's name in their little pedo van with all the equipment. Now, I don't know about you, but that does not look like spy equipment to me. But this was also filmed in 1994, so I'm looking at, you would think it would be more advanced than what it was for everybody else. That looked like something that somebody would have in their own basement at that time.
Yeah. But yeah, it was old.
It was old. It was an older movie. My kids were watching it and they were looking at the computer monitor and they're like, why is the monitor so big? I'm like, because that's how big they were when I was growing up. They weren't flat screens like now.
Font. Yeah. That's it.
That's it. So he's making his way upstairs. He's doing his thing as a spy. He connects a USB device. I don't even think it was a USB device. It looked like it was like connected to the printer port of the computer. And tells the guys to start hacking in. The first thing I noticed was Windows 3.5. That tells you how old this freaking movie is.
And you know what? At that time, it was probably brand new. They were probably trying to showcase, wow, this guy's got fancy software.
Yeah, it was the one of the original Windows operating systems, and man, that was old. Like, yeah, ridiculous.
Well, come on. What kind of arms dealer would you trust if his computer log opens up with like MS-DOS?
I guess that's true, but again, if it was MS
He's not
DOS,
gonna have
if it
shit.
was MS DOS, this would have been like mid '80s, if not earlier
Right.
than that. So
Yeah, yeah.
I just that was the first thing I focused on. I was like, wow, and the logo really hasn't changed much. So at this point, Arnold comes out of the room and sees a security guard. Security guard thinks nothing of it at the beginning, and all of a sudden he's on the radio saying, "Hey, there was a guy up here." No idea. And the first scene, the first memorable scene of this entire movie is the tango dance with Juno, aka Tia.
Okay. There's one scene before the dance.
Yep.
So he goes when he's coming out and he says, like, "Where's the bathroom?"
Where's the bathroom? I need to take a wicked shit.
And in the captions, it says perfect Arabic. Now, we are supposed to believe, I don't speak Arabic.
Yep.
We are supposed to believe that Arnold Schwarzenegger, who doesn't speak perfect English, spoke perfect Arabic. They expect me to believe that. They don't think that in my head, his Arabic sounds like his English.
I was gonna say that too. Like when you see the subtitles of him speaking French and then him speaking Arabic and then him speaking Italian, like all the languages that he speaks, they all said perfect Arabic, perfect French, perfect Italian. So I
Did
was
they?
gonna bring
I
that up.
didn't notice that. I
They
only
all
noticed
said
the
it.
Arabic.
They all said it. They all said perfect Italian, perfect French. So I was like, I was thinking of the same thing as like, how is he speaking perfect other languages, but I could barely understand his English?
Yeah, very strange. But anyways, he makes it
Anyways,
upstairs to the tango.
so they do the tango to distract all the guards. And this is the one thing that bothered me. The guards run right past him. He just turns his head and they didn't see him. Like, are you guys blind? Are you guys stupid? What's wrong with you people? You guys are
Well,
top notch security guards. They're paying you millions, possibly. And you don't even notice him by just literally, you're 1 foot away from him and you didn't notice his face.
so the problem, I believe, is that he spoke Arabic so perfectly that when the one guy radioed the others, he said to look out for an Arabic man.
Right.
It fooled him so blindly that he didn't see this 6'8" tall Austrian man or whatever he is. He saw Arabic.
Oh my goodness. Whatever. I don't know. That was horrible. It was absolutely stupid. But Juno basically falls in love with this guy after the tango dance, which I don't know if that's in real life if that ever happens. But I don't know. It was just it was an iconic dance that was memorable for anybody who's watched this movie. That was something that stood out in this movie. One part. That's one of the main scenes. After this, he escapes and Tom Arnold's like, "How are you going to get out of this one?" And he's like, "Right through the front door." And then there's a curveball. Guard comes out and says, "Can I see your invitation?" And the first explosion of the entire movie. "Here's my invitation," and he blows up
Right.
that first implanted bomb that was on top of the gas tank. Now, that's another thing. Why is there a gas tank on the side of a building or the side of a mansion? Why? What was
Like he's got to fill. He's got so many snowmobiles to fill. All their trucks.
put on the side of the mansion? Like, why wouldn't it be in a shed or in a
Ooh.
garage? Or, you got a multi-million-dollar mansion and you got these gas barrels just laying around on the outside of the mansion for
Maybe gas was expensive at that time,
as
and
expensive as it is now.
and he was flaunting it.
Pretty sure back in 1994, a liter of gas cost 28 cents. Pretty sure. Not this $2 a liter now that we were paying. But anyways, beyond that, this is the first action scene that we see where Arnold Schwarzenegger is now trying to escape. He's going down this mountain. Now, the mountain looked pretty steep to me. I don't know about you, but it looked pretty steep to me. And he's wearing fancy shoes. He's wearing nice shoes. Now, me on a flat surface with fancy shoes, I could barely walk. I slip all over the place. He's going down this hill like he's actually got skis on. That to me was the first part of the movie that wasn't believable. Even as a spy movie, was not believable.
Okay, so as a spy movie, now here's where we need to decide something. Is this spy movie similar to James Bond, where these spies have unlimited resources? They've got tons of gadgets,
Well,
gadgets for every scenario?
as
Or
we get
no?
on into the movie, there is tons of gadgets that they have, right? They do have access to phone records. They have access to pretty much anything and everything, right? So
Well,
I
those
would.
aren't gadgets.
There was a camera, cigarette pack with a camera in it.
Okay, so yeah, a hidden camera, but gadgets like if it were James Bond running down that, he'd hit a button on his shoes, they'd turn into skis.
I guess that's true too.
Or he'd hit a button and spikes would come out of it so that he could get some grip. Like weird little stuff that in James Bond, Q would give him.
Give him.
Here, you may think it's a shoe, but it's really not a shoe.
Right.
You know, that kind of weird stuff.
That was a good
But
impression. That was a really good impression.
in this movie, I don't feel there's any toys or gadgets like that. There's no secret hidden gun like Maxwell Smart had
Right.
his finger gun, where he would put it on his finger
Right.
and it would shoot one bullet, but his hand would always be like this because it was made out
Yes.
of plastic.
Right. But again, though, like it's a spy movie. It's also an action movie. I know it doesn't have to be fully believable, but again, going down that hill, you got several people on skis going down that hill shooting at him. By the way, which looked a lot more real bullets than Lone Wolf. Just pointing that out. Because it was
Oof.
hitting trees, it was hitting the snow, it was hitting stuff. Guys on snowmobiles, and he's outrunning all of them with just dress shoes.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's such a monstrous man that he's just taking these huge steps.
I'm just saying, like it's just one of those. This is one of the parts of the movie that, again, there's a lot of parts that are non-believable, but this one to me was the most unbelievable portion of the actual movie itself, because my fat ass would be rolling down that hill instead of running down that hill with those shoes on, 100%. And then the only part that looked cool, that might have been believable, is when he falls on his back to shoot at the guys on the skis, and he's sliding down the hill with the back of it.
Sure.
Because maybe his suit is polyester or plastic or whatever, and it's like a toboggan, and he's sliding down there. That's what was going through my mind at that time, right? It's like, okay, that seems more believable. Maybe his suit, because it was dry, like you said, he came out of the water. It's some kind of special material that stays dry. And then you see the part where Tom Arnold is driving down the mountain, and like, I don't know how he's driving, and I get it that there's ice in Moscow, Russia, wherever they are, but he shouldn't be swerving as much as he is on that road.
Yeah.
Like it was very excessive swerving, very excessive. There's ice on the road kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's ice and it gets a little slippery.
Yeah.
You don't need
We
the
get
explanation either.
There was no explanation needed, but it was also over exaggerated, because you think you're in that area, you got winter tires on, possibly studs, so you're not slipping like that. That was just an over exaggeration of the driving skills that he did not have any. And then at the end, Arnold Schwarzenegger comes out and he says, "Move your head," and shoots the last guy with the skis. And that was the end of that action scene. Great opening, great action scene, a little bit unbelievable in my opinion.
Yeah, but fun. It was definitely fun. Like you said, great action. It's within the first 10 minutes of the movie. So, yeah, that's what makes it a blockbuster.
Great movie. And then this is where this part, from this part until we get to the middle, is where it gets a little slow, in my opinion. Okay. I thought it was, I guess we'll get to it, but I just thought it was very slow. It wasn't holding me into the movie because there was too much nonchalantness going into it. I didn't like it. So basically, Tom Arnold and Arnold Schwarzenegger are in front of the house, and he's giving him all this stuff, saying, here's a gift for your daughter, which is a snow globe. Again, 13-year-old kid. Who the hell wants a snow globe? And then he gets out of the vehicle, and Tom Arnold's like, "Are you forgetting something?" And the wedding ring. So right there, it's showing that at this point, there's already some hardship in the marriage, because he forgets things, forgetting stuff with his wife, forgetting stuff with his kids, or kid. So they have breakfast. He's telling her everything about his meeting, about his sales as a computer salesman. Like, does Arnold Schwarzenegger look like a computer salesman to you?
Well, he wears a suit.
That's about it. He doesn't look like he would be into computer sales. He looks like he would be into workout equipment sales.
But maybe this computer company put him up front meeting with clients because he's so intimidating.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
He gets the sales because he's literally scares them into it.
That is true. It's possible. That's why he's such a good salesman. That's good. That's a good way of describing it. Uh, so lies to his wife about everything. The wife is ecstatic, but doesn't also really pay attention. He's not really paying attention to her. And that's another first sign is where she's like, the plumber's got to come in and he's got to tear apart the basement. It's going to cost $600. That to me was outrageous because I was like thinking about that. I'm like, I did a lot of renovations in my time and any kind of plumbing never cost me $600. Never cost me $600. I don't know about you, but that just blew my mind. Something like that would cost nowadays 4 or 5 thousand bucks. But at the time, she's like, "Well, what did you tell him?" Well, he'd knock $100 off if I slept with him. That's good, honey. And he walks away. Like, come on, man. Like, you're not even paying attention. She's trying to have a full-on conversation with you. Give a little bit of leeway on this one, right? Anyways, the best part, not the best part, one of the coolest parts of this movie is when they're now going to Omega and they show the symbol of the Omega on the top,
Yeah.
and they're going into that little x-ray room and you can see the x-ray of the guns and everything, and he's like, "Hello, Helen, how's it going?" That was cool to me. I don't know if it's Helen. I can't remember what her name is. Janet, whatever her name was. And then the first thing she does is she's grabbing the gun from underneath her desk. So that's the first hidden gun that we see in this movie type of thing, right? Where we're talking about spies. So they identify themselves. They have the little eye scanners and the hand scanners and the voice scanners. This now looks like a spy movie. This is, at this point, it's great. It has that little techie stuff in there. And they have the little meeting. Did I miss something? Because I could see.
No, just something that I want to point out what I got from that. Yeah, super cool, super sophisticated spy organization.
Right.
And nothing says spy like big branding on the
Right.
floor. Like
Yeah.
like I'm a big fan of Shield. Shield is a super top secret organization. So why not put the logo on all our vehicles? It's just one of those things they do. So fine, looked cool. And like you said, they went through the X-ray, they went through the eye, the voice, visual check of
Yeah.
Janice or whatever her name was. Now they're going through all these checks, and she is holding onto her gun and doesn't really relax until they've gone through the last measure of verification. What universe are we in? At X-ray, full body X-ray, eye scan, retinal scan, and voice recognition, and she's still not sure that that's Gib and Harry.
Well,
What is going on? Are we in a world with scrolls? Are we in a world with life model decoys? Are we in a world with body snatchers? Are we in Mission Impossible world where Tom Cruise's character can put a full mask on
right.
and look exactly like somebody with no identification of it being a mask?
There's a
Is that
possibility.
where we are?
That's a huge possibility. That's why they go through all those checks, and she's not. Maybe they've had a breach at one point where somebody was who they say they were, and they didn't have the eye, hand, and voice visualization, and they breached the system. Right? There's a huge possibility. You got to remember, it's a secret organization, like bigger than the CIA, bigger than the FBI, bigger than anything else out there. Right? So maybe there are people out there that did try and infiltrate the Omega Core. Right?
But with either the aliens or robots or mask technology available, we don't see any of these toys being used throughout the movie. So it disappoints me that, in my head at least, this is acknowledging that there is a possibility that these are duplicates or
Correct.
somebody pretending to look like them, which would be amazing if they can do it identically.
Right.
But then no fancy guns, no laser beams, no fancy, even what are they called now? What do the people wear? Meta glasses. Yeah. At the most they had the one that had a little camera in the cigarette pack to watch, but
right.
Even that was just all you can watch is what's in that tiny camera.
Right.
It's not like you can scan things like Iron Man or something like. So it's a little disappointing.
Well, again, and that's what I was saying, like with the opening scene, with the unrealistic of him going down the hill, you're right. They don't have as many gadgets as you think that they should have based on what we're seeing now. And I didn't even think about that until you said that now. Like, it's possible that they did have infiltration of somebody who looks exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Tom Arnold type of thing. And now they're adding extra precautions to stop it from happening.
It's it's super difficult to get in there, but how easy it is to get into the MIB headquarters? Like, you
Right?
got that one security guard on the chair, and all he says is, "Take the elevator."
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you're in.
Yep. You're in.
Weird.
Right. So
Anyway,
this is where we first have the meeting of everything that's going on, of what they found out in the first mission that they had, that there's money being transferred to terrorism, and there's the boss with the eye patch. Was that not the original guy who plays Nick Fury? Or was it just starting to be Nick Fury? I don't know. I'm asking this. I don't remember.
I'll come back, but not for you, Roma, for our listeners.
At this, I told you I don't know, but he did look a lot like Nick Fury.
No. So, oh God, Jesus, God, please. The original Nick Fury in the movie was David Hasselhoff.
Oh, right.
Ugh. Not a great one.
Not a great
But
one.
a good one for the 90s. That man is a name that you didn't bring up during your cast review. That's Charlton Heston. Who, my God, maybe the most... Arnold Schwarzenegger's pretty famous.
Yeah.
But when we're looking at the history, man, he was in 6 Planet of the Apes movies starting in 1968.
Okay.
He was Moses in the Ten Commandments. Like, this guy's phenomenal.
Right.
And when I say famous, and he's an actor's actor.
Right.
Like, he started when acting meant a little bit more than just showing up and reading your script, or you've got a pretty face, so you're hired. Nick Fury.
He looked like Nick Fury. I'm sorry. Leave me alone.
Carry on.
So they're going into this and they're reviewing all this stuff and basically saying you need to get more information. And they don't believe that this mission was valid. So they leave the security and they're on their way back and they're being followed by vehicles. No, wait. I think I'm at the wrong part now. Hold on a second. Omega headquarters, terrorist threat revealed. Oh my God. I'm going to need to pause this. I think my notes are in wrong order.
That's fine. Okay, go with that scene.
I'm in the wrong order. Anyways, terrorist threat level revealed. Sorry, I did. This is all wrong. So this is now where, Harry's basically finds out that his wife is... Basically, he goes to meet his wife to apologize for everything that's going on. He wants to go and have lunch with her and realizes that now she's possibly cheating on him with Simon, aka Bill Paxton. He gets upset, almost gets hit by a bus. Tom Arnold comes out and is basically hey, what's up? And basically gives the bus driver the finger. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's telling him that his wife is cheating on him, that she's having an affair. And this is where he uses every Omega phone call reviews, GPS tracking, techie to just spy on his own wife to find out what's going on, right? And finds out that she's meeting this guy, Simon, who's a dirtbag used car salesman.
I want to talk about Tom Arnold here first. So we see that scene where he comes out and Harry's defeated because of the potential cheating. And Tom Arnold, this is Tom Arnold.
Yeah.
This is his role, the way he's delivering his lines, the kind of sense to him. He's playful, he's a jerk, he's insulting. That's just Tom Arnold. I think he's like that in every movie I've seen of his.
I think he's just acting himself.
Yeah. And when he congratulates Harry on joining the club of being cheated on, he says a line where he talks about his ex, how crazy she is, and she even stole the ice cube trays, and he's like, how effing crazy do you gotta be? And it's funny because I'm sure you remember he was married to Roseanne Barr.
Right.
Of the Roseanne show, right?
Right.
She left him because he cheated on her.
Right.
And she did take everything, including the trays. This was in an interview with him previously to this movie. So they used part of his real life and threw it in there for comedy's sake.
Oh my goodness. I did not know that. That's actually kind of cool.
It's pretty funny. But Gibb, besides being that moral support, maybe a wingman or something here, what is his role?
I think he's the intelligence guy. And then the other gentleman is the hacker that gets into the computer, because he pretty much, the only thing I see him doing for Arnold is like making sure that he remembers his wife, remembers, like he's like his assistant as a spy.
Okay, so okay, I guess we can call him his handler.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
kind of how I see
okay.
it, because
Because I
he's
was
the one that,
finding he was useless.
yeah, he was useless. The only thing that he was really good at was making sure that Arnold had everything. The snow globe for his daughter, to make sure, like you went
Yeah,
on this trip, you have a gift. The wedding ring, making sure like he was also like, as he was going to meet Juno, which we'll get on later on for this movie, is like, your name is blah blah blah, right? Like you
right.
need to know that this is, you got to rerun through all these things, right? So he's monitoring everything that he does to make sure that he doesn't screw up. So yeah, probably a handler,
Okay,
right?
so it's making things a little bit make more sense because throughout the movie, I just kept thinking, well, he's not the tech guy, and he's not the wear a tuxedo tango guy.
Right,
Um, so yeah, as a handler, where his sole job is just to do the homework for Harry, so
right.
Harry's prepared. Okay, then yeah, I could tolerate him.
So I did miss parts before the Simon thing, and now I remember why I did this. So after they leave Omega, they do go to Juno's artsy fartsy place where she has all the Persian stuff like that. So that's where the hotel part was. So they go there, they meet Juno. She has all these Persian artifacts, and that's where we first see Aziz, who is in the warehouse with all the Persian artifacts. Arnold leaves there, and Aziz goes and sees Tia and smacks the crap out of her, basically calling her every Arabic name in the book at that point, and also calling her the S word. Don't want to say it because I don't know if this is going to get flagged. And that's where Harry goes back to the establishment and sees, and they start driving away. And he's supposed to be home now in time for his birthday. So keep this in mind. His wife calls him to remind him that it's his birthday today. He doesn't even remember his own birthday. He's supposed to celebrate it with his family. And then he gets followed by the vehicles and is late for his own birthday. Right? So the Simon situation is a valid situation. He's not putting any effort into this marriage at this point, and she just wants something else. Now I'm back to where we are. Okay. And so Arnold goes to the used car lot, test drives that, what was it, 1970 Corvette?
Is
1980.
that the next part?
After he's like fought everybody, after he,
When does the mall slash hotel, the
oh,
horse
that's right
chase?
before this. That is right before this. That's right. So he
Yeah.
gets followed home by Aziz and two other henchmen, and Arnold, or not Arnold, Tom Arnold notices that they're being followed. They pull over, and you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, who lights a cigarette, starts coughing, and you hear Tom Arnold like, amateur, and he has the pack of cigarettes with the camera in his hand to see if they're following him. Puts the camera in the bathroom, and first fight scene of Arnold and that other big guy. That guy was massive. I think he was bigger than Arnold at that point.
Yeah, this was another good action
Action
scene.
scene.
Sure, it was just fighting, but it was great. Good use of the environment. The little gag where the guy was still in
In
the
the
stall.
toilet, in the stall. The other thing that was really good was when they were shooting bullets, the actual tiles showed that the bullets were being shot.
I'm starting to wonder, Roma, because we all know, and I'm pretty sure we mentioned it in the pre-watch. There's a scene that's going to be coming up that you watch in slow motion. You rewind and rewatch. Were you watching the whole movie in slow motion that you're seeing all these bullets?
Nope. No,
Was your
you could,
VCR stuck
as
in
the
slow?
bullets were being shot, you could actively see the tiles being blown up, the toilet being blown up, the holes in the toilet stalls getting put in there. Like you could blatantly see them. It's not, and I will give credit. These 70s and 80s movies, they did what they could with what they had, but again, very unbelievable. We're going back to the blue bullet situation. What the hell were the blue bullets? Come on. It was very, very fake, very unbelievable.
Okay, but great bathroom fight scene. Great.
Great bathroom fight scene. And then you got Aziz that comes in after Arnold has defeated those two guys, and the chase continues. They start fighting each other, and Schwarzenegger tries to catch Aziz. Aziz grabs a motorcycle. So this is where one of the action scenes are. He grabs a motorcycle, and Arnold grabs a horse. We already know who's going to win on this one, the motorcycle. That was an unbelievable portion. was the horse versus the motorcycle. Not going to happen. The motorcycle would have been long gone already. Like, there's no way the horse is catching up. Not a chance. The more unbelievable part is the horse in the elevator. I don't know about you, but most of the times the weight limit is, what is it, 20 people in the elevator? And you had in the elevator, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had two other people, and the horse, which I'm going to assume the horse is about 10, 15 people at that point, weight wise. That elevator would not be going up. Plain and simple. Am I wrong?
Probably not to offend any American listeners that we might have, but they are a heftier people. So potentially elevators there can take 40. I don't know. Maybe the weight limits are significantly higher.
I don't know.
Compass.
It doesn't make sense how a horse, Arnold, and two other people can go up in the elevator all the way up to the top of the building when we know the capacity of an elevator is a certain weight limit.
Okay, well, we'll say this, and then maybe we'll leave it there. The horse got in the elevator, and the elevator went up. It wasn't a fake elevator. They didn't have a forklift or a crane to fake it.
Yep.
This elevator had the weight capacity of the horse.
So weird.
It had to have worked. They didn't use special effects.
I don't know. I think it's bullshit. I think they just...
After we're done recording, you please try to go down a rabbit hole of this elevator scene and see what you can figure out. Who the manufacturer of the elevator is, what model, what year it was. And then
we'll chat about that later. So they get to the top. Aziz takes a running start with the motorcycle and flies off the roof and into a pool. Now, this is the part that my son is like, this is bullshit, Dad. This is a bullshit movie. He's like, that motorcycle would not have made that distance. It would have went straight down into the I'm like, it's movie magic. Just leave it alone. It's movie magic. And then Arnold tries to attempt with the horse. And this is where the comedic relief comes in. The horse stops last minute and he goes over and hits, what was that sign that was on there? Was it?
It was the hotel
the
sign.
Marriott sign? And hits the Marriott sign. So it's funny. The horse didn't do anything and pulls him back up and he starts scolding the horse like, you almost killed me kind of thing. Like, why are you talking to the horse now?
So funny though. Great.
It's like, you knew this wasn't going to happen. Why would you even attempt to do it? The horse would have got spooked. It wasn't going to do it. It's not a trained horse to do that jump.
And not only that, but at that, let's say it did make that distance to the pool.
Right.
When by the time it hits the water, it's breaking its legs.
100%.
It's, yeah. And 100%. Then how do you get the horse out of the water?
That's true.
That horse, even if it didn't break its legs, it's not going to be able to climb out of a pool unless there is like some significant stairs in there.
Right. That's true. That is true too. So this is where he's late to his birthday, and now we get to the Simon part of the movie. Sorry, guys. Off track. Coming back. So Simon is now the villain for Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's determined to make sure that his marriage is safe again, or tries to make his marriage safe again by getting to Simon, who's this sleazeball used car salesman that seduces women to try and just have sex with them. He has no real reason of doing anything. He's really a slimeball. And honestly, Bill Paxton did an amazing job being a slimeball used car salesman. It was very believable, very funny. They do the GPS in her purse. They try to find her and all this other stuff. The scenes were believable to a point where Simon was trying to be the spy that she wanted him to be, so she had some adventure in her life, where in reality her husband really is a spy. So it was kind of like irony at this point.
Current one that he's after, and he's describing her physically.
Yeah.
Right.
There's one part I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah, then feel free to, because I don't know if I want to.
Has the 10-year-old boy's ass?
Yeah. And then Arnold punches him, killing him
in the face.
Rightfully so.
But
and
it's a dream.
Not because he's talking about his wife, but because all of a sudden he's gone full pedo.
Yeah.
So why? Like the ass of a 10-year-old boy, and he's smiling and he's so proud of it. Now, tell me something here, Roma. Maybe you can explain the writer's decision. Is it too inappropriate to say the ass of a 10-year-old girl? Is that drawing a line?
I think
And
both
they
of them are
thought,
really drawing a line.
right,
Doesn't matter which way you
they
go. It's
super are, which is why I'm so confused because, yeah, if he said the ass of a 10-year-old girl in 2026, 1994, doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Unacceptable, vomit worthy, this guy should be jailed.
Yeah, yeah. But even
So,
the person who wrote the
so
script about that, I don't know.
yeah, so did the writer think that and say, maybe if we say 10-year-old boy, it's less sexual assault and more comedy?
I don't know. But when I heard that, it did not leave a good. Yeah,
No, it was so like that whole line they could have just left
deleted
out.
it. Deleted it.
Yeah.
But
Talk about her breasts, talk about her legs, her you could talk about her butt, but you don't have to compare it to any
any 10
10-year-olds.
year old, nothing. That was disgusting. And like the punch after that was very satisfying to see the bloody face after saying that. But again, it was just a dream. He didn't really do it. But again, like that one line in that whole movie,
Yeah,
so
the
wrong.
creative decision of it
It
to
was,
keep it in there.
again,
Just
like you said, whether it was 1994 or now, doesn't matter. It was not a great line to have in the movie. It should have been deleted.
it should have been. And let's not ignore the fact that we were both 10-year-old boys. I didn't have an ass. What are you so turned on about? Are you serious right now? Like straight flat. What? What's appealing to you is that she's got a flat
Flat
ass.
ass.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre.
I guess back then flat ass was popular and now fat ass is popular.
So weird.
So you
But
get that
that whole
scene.
drive scene is great.
The whole drive scene is great. When he gets back to the used car lot and he's going really fast, almost misses the turn and does the full 360 parking into the spot. That was,
Let me think about it, he
let me
says.
think about it. Yeah. And the guy's trying to tell him like, I got a couple other offers in, but you're a good guy. I'll give it to you at a deal. And he's like, let me think about it. Not a very good used car salesman, as you can see as well. Uh,
Yeah.
so we get to the part where again he's testing out his wife. He has GPS tracker in her purse. He's asking her all these questions. He knows that there's meetings going on and all this other stuff, and she's backtracking, saying, "Oh, I gotta go out with Allison. I gotta go out with this person." So she's lying to his face. So there's now Simon ends up calling her and says, "I need to meet you right now. Meet me at this location." So she drives. Like, what kind of car was she driving? Because that was an old piece of shit now, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't even pay
It was
attention.
so gross. I was like, what the hell is that? Picks her up in the Corvette and brings her to the safe
Trailer.
house. And I was looking at this safe house. I'm like, if you're a spy, this isn't a safe house. This is not a safe house at all. Safe houses are usually like, I'm not saying super fancy, but at least a
Safe.
regular safe, a regular home, a regular house, something that is safe. And when they go inside and they cling the plastic wine glasses together, and I'm like, this is so like I don't understand how she's not putting two and two together and realizing this guy is full of shit
Yeah.
at this point.
And we realized like, wow, he really is a bad salesman.
Really,
Like this is where he lives.
this
Wow.
is where he lives. He lives in a trailer out in the middle of nowhere. There's no other trailers around, just his. He's in an open lot, I guess. That
Yeah.
I
So
think
weird.
I think he just dropped it off in that location and nobody said anything, so he's literally there for free. And then they're going through the motions like I want you to be my wife, and he's trying to lure her into figuring it all out, trying to see, hey, I'm gonna touch you, but you got to make sure that you don't make it seem as though I'm not somebody you want touching you, type of thing. And like just a sleazeball. He's doing all these sleazeball moves, and he finally like tries to get on top of her, and she's telling him to get off. So this was another part that it didn't sit well with me. It was forcing himself on her, and I didn't like that because again, it's not appropriate. Now I'm going back to the 10-year-old boy's ass kind of thing, and he's just a creeper, right? Like
Yeah.
literally he's a criminal waiting to go to jail at this point. Like there's just one false move that's going to get him to go to jail. And then all of a sudden the trailer breaks in half.
Before we get to the trailer breaking in half, which was cool, you didn't talk about how Harry found out about this rendezvous.
No, I
because
did not.
Harry and Gib were driving around. Gib was driving in the SUV, and Harry was reading the transcripts
Right.
from her cell phone or her telephone, and it's so funny because he gets them to, or no, Harry was driving, sorry, and flipping through them, and then pulls over, gets out. Gib gets out, and it's so funny because Harry's give me the missing page. So what it must be, it must be a typo. Like
Must be
what are you
typo.
talking? Give me the goddamn page. And he just breaks.
Smashes the window.
It's like, wow, okay, you've got problems. The window, so funny, and I don't know that give me the goddamn page is just one of those very quotable things for me. Like I will just say it if I'm looking for something.
Yeah.
Like my wife has it or something. Yeah, it's funny.
I could totally see you doing that. Give me the goddamn fork! Give me my goddamn water!
So that's when he calls in the chopper and he's using all the
Choppers.
resources.
He's
and
using
Gib
all
tries
Omega
telling him,
resources at this
"You
point.
can't do this. It's illegal. It's blah blah blah." But Harry shoots him back with, "How about that time you were getting too busy getting a blowjob?"
You knew about that?
So then Gib's right on board. He's like, "All right, let's do this.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Please don't tell him."
Okay. See, you're better at this than I am. See, you just need to take over all the movies, and then I just review with you. That's all.
That's too much work for me. It's exhausting.
So, at this point, the trailer's getting ripped in half, and Bill Paxton's on top of Jamie Lee Curtis, and it looks
Freaking
very inappropriate at this time. Her legs are frailing in the air. Bill Paxton is on top of her, just looking at everybody in the background, and it's absolutely comedy at this point.
Do you notice anything? So Arnold comes up right away, and he's the one who separates them.
Right.
Did you have anything to say about that exact moment?
No.
Okay, in that moment, so yeah, her legs are open, he's fallen on top completely innocently, doesn't look that way, and then we know it's Arnold in the ski mask.
Right.
Or Harry, sorry. And his eyes just are huge.
Right.
And I'm like, is that Van Damme? No, wrong movie. He's just doing Van Damme eyes in this moment.
Right.
That's where I went right away.
So then Tom Arnold goes to grab Jamie Lee Curtis, and she kicks him in the balls. And then they like grab her out of there, and like one of the guys hits her in the back of the head, and Arnold punches him in the face. And then they put them all in the van, and then all you see coming from the side of the van is Tom Arnold, and he's like, "What?"
This whole scene, right amount of action, right amount of comedy.
Yeah.
It all worked.
It was so good. So good. So now we go to the interrogation room where you got Jamie Lee Curtis in the interrogation room, and you got Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tom Arnold in the interrogation room as well behind the one-way mirror. Like, Tom Arnold's comments in this entirety of it, I laughed so hard. I don't know why. They're not even funny. It was just that he was like interrupting at those specific moments with the most inappropriate questions to ask, that it was funny to me. And I like, it was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was so funny. Like, she's like, she didn't want to cheat on him. She didn't want to do all this stuff. He's like, but you had sex with him, and you got dirty with him, and you're like, just the most inappropriate questions.
Again, it goes back to this is Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold, right?
Being him, enjoying the role. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
And then it's like Arnold's like, can you just let me handle this myself? But he still puts his 2 cents in, because there's like, did you have sex with him? So you don't have the flame anymore in your crotch? And it's like, shut up. Just shut up.
So funny.
And this is where it starts with we're going to be a spy for us. You either become a spy with us or you go to jail. And obviously Jamie Lee is like, well, the choices are I go to jail or I'm going to be a spy. There's no other purpose, right? The other thing I wanted to mention is she's pretty freaking strong, because when she grabbed that chair and was smashing that mirror and it shattered the way that it did, I did some research. That's like 2.5 inches thick of one-way mirror. If it was actually that way, right? Like, for her to be able to do that, that's impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah. Funny. So I have another funny part about this interview.
Go ahead.
You covered everything?
I covered everything that I have written here. Yeah.
So when they convince her to work with her or like go to jail, and she's like, Well, let me think about it. Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
She's so excited to be in. Like, she just wants to do something fun. And then they give her the code name, your contact's name will be Boris, and your contact name will be, and she's like, Natasha? Because Boris and Natasha from
Yeah.
Bullwinkle, great spy duo. But, Boris and Natasha would have been good. But Boris and Doris is what they come up with. And God, it just makes things so much more funny. At least for me, it's like they could have went Natasha,
It could have went
but
Natasha.
Boris and Doris.
Boris and Doris.
Okay, I'm
That was
okay with
good.
this.
Kudos to you on changing that one up a little bit. Yeah.
And she was so disappointed by it.
She's like, oh,
I wanted to be Natasha.
it was good. It was good. Now it's the classic scene of Bill Paxton's comedic performance, which was phenomenal. They're at a water bridge. I'm assuming that's what that was. Watergate, water, whatever the hell it is. And they got him down to his like underwear and undershirt, tied up, ready to kill him, throw him off the water bridge. And he's like, "Don't kill me, man. I'm not worth it. I'm not a spy. I'm not anything. I haven't even seen your face." And then Arnold Schwarzenegger pulls his mask off. He's like, "No, I haven't even seen your face. Wait a minute. Are you still interested in that Corvette? Like, what the? Why? Why would you even start with the Corvette? Like, you are literally being held hostage, about to die, and you're trying to make a sale on this stupid Corvette."
And his whole explanation to them of why he's doing it, and he's got
Yeah.
a tiny wiener. It's so funny.
I guess it's
Very
funny. He's like,
comical.
and then all of a sudden he's like, the facial expressions on his face. He's like, "Would a spy piss himself?"
And the fact that they look at each other and they're like, no.
No, no. And then they let him go, and he's like, "No, no, you guys are gonna shoot me in the back. You guys are gonna shoot me in the back." Classic scene, great comedy scene. And then Tom Arnold's like, "Just get out of here, dude," and starts shooting the floor again.
That moment where Tom just blindly shoots
Yeah,
was probably the coolest I have ever seen Tom Arnold.
yeah. That was
The way he pulled out the gun and just nonchalantly shot a couple rounds off, I was like, all right, he's a cool dude. But then he starts talking again, and it's like, it ruins it for me.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
back to that comedy role.
It was great. They drop Helen back off, or Jamie Lee Curtis back off to her car. She basically calls them assholes and drives off. Next scene is them at, I believe it's dinner time, and Arnold starts talking to Jamie and says, "How was your night last night? I heard, you had a flat tire and everything," and you could see the coffee pot shaking as she's pouring it. And I was like, that was really well done. I thought that was good, because she already was like scared, and she was basically scared straight at that point. You could tell that she was scared straight. And then the phone rings, and it's Boris, which is Tom Arnold, and he's basically telling her, "You're going to go to this hotel room. There's going to be an envelope with your name on it, Doris, and it's going to be a gentleman who likes prostitutes." Great way of introducing the mission. It was great. You got to wear a sexy dress. You got to be a prostitute. You got to bug it. Like, very detailed. Like, the whole thing was perfectly done at this point. But the dress that she chose, oh my
Yeah.
God.
So not
My
sexy.
God. That was like, again, this movie was filmed in the 90s. That was a dress from like the late 70s, early 80s. Easily. You had the puffy, whatever this is, the puffy arms, the puffy legs at the bottom. It was horrendous. Absolutely, yeah, not sexy at all. To her, if that's sexy, no wonder their marriage was in shambles, because that was not. She gets the letter. She's going up to the hotel room, and she sees herself in the mirror and looks at herself and agrees with everybody else that that dress is absolutely horrible.
So did she not own mirrors at home?
I guess not, but
Because she obviously, in that hallway, decided, wow, I don't look sexy at all. It's like
right?
so she's got the knowledge of what sexy should be, but she still left the house like that?
Like that. And the other thing is that I'm watching as she's walking into the hotel room, and the other thing again that isn't believable is nobody's staring at her. Because if somebody walked in wearing that dress today into a hotel room, into a hotel, everybody would be like, "What the hell is she wearing?" So get to the mirror, and she starts ripping it all off, makes it into like a short dress with short arms, and grabs water from the vase and slicks her hair back. And the start of the iconic scene of this entire movie that every 13-year-old boy watching this movie in 1994 probably watched it multiple times. She gets into the hotel room. Her husband is sitting in the chair, but she doesn't realize that it's her husband because it's obviously shadowing his face and everything. And he's got a tape recorder behind him. That was a great tape recorder, by the way, because he didn't have to fast forward or rewind very much to,
Sure. Yeah.
and
To get to the
literally
next
got it like
line.
perfectly on the right spot every time.
Which is weird.
Very weird, because like I remember cassettes when you had to fast forward or rewind the song, you had to make sure you had it timed just right to get to that part. You either started too late or started too early. And she does the dancing scene where he's saying to basically first it was get undressed slowly, turn around. She
Yeah.
pulls off the dress, and you see
So he says, audio recording says, now take your nylons off. And she's like, I'm not wearing any. Yes, good.
that's good. That's
Wait,
good.
what? So Harry clearly had no idea she wouldn't wear nylons,
Yeah,
but then asks for the dance part that you already mentioned.
right.
Do a dance. But the recording knew well enough. No, dance sexy. Or a sexy dance. I can't remember how it says it.
Right.
So the script on the recording knew she wouldn't dance sexy.
Dance sexy, like she was doing the
Yeah.
great dance scene part where the transmitter falls out and she grabs it again and sticks it in her mouth. Phenomenal scene,
Crazy. Yeah.
iconic, but then tells her to go onto the bed and close her eyes. And she's like, I thought you didn't touch, or I was told that you don't touch. And then he just rewinds it and says, go on the bed, close your eyes. He then rows along her body and kisses her, and she freaks out and beats the shit out of her husband at this time.
So I'm confused because they make out for a little bit. So I don't know where she had it, maybe in her lip, but they're making out. Then she pushes him up as she's reaching for the phone.
Yeah.
Or is holding the phone. So is that all with her eyes closed? Like she pushes him up and hopes to hit him with eyes closed? Or did she push him up, have her eyes open?
I didn't notice, but
It didn't show her face.
it didn't show her
but
face.
I would imagine if you're going to hit somebody with a phone, you want to see where they are so you can hit them and not miss.
Right.
No.
Right. It didn't show the face. I'm going to say maybe she had her eyes open. I have no
But
idea.
then wouldn't you have seen him?
Seeing that it was him? Yeah, you're right. I didn't
It's just
think of that.
so weird.
But
But I
she
find it so strange that a person would push them off, still have your eyes closed as you're swinging it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. You're right.
Why keep your eyes closed? You're now fighting for your life. You need to escape. You need to know the environment, where he is, what he's doing. I don't know. It was weird.
I think it was a fight or flight mode at that point. Maybe she did have her eyes closed and she just swung and prayed for the best.
Yeah.
So she ends up beating the crap out of him. She's running away. She's grabbing all of her stuff, but then she runs back, kicks him again, runs away, comes back, forgets that she had to put the little device in the phone, puts it in the phone. Like at that point, he sees you putting it in the phone. If it's actually somebody who you're trying to catch, they know that you've done something to the phone at that point. But then he says, Helen, it's me.
Yeah, but even before that, like she kicks him, she punches him, she pushes him. And the whole time he's like, do you not recognize your husband's voice at all?
Apparently not.
Like he's got a very distinctive sound to him.
Apparently not. At this point, apparently not.
So strange.
So they're in this room. She realizes that it's her husband. This is the other thing that bothered me as well, is that there was no explanation at this point. All of a sudden, the terrorist guys come in because they found out where he is and they captured him. But aren't you questioning at this point as how are you the guy that's actually wanting prostitutes to come and see you? Like there was no, how are you there? Like, why are you here? How are you my husband in here? Are you actually the guy that has been ordering these prostitutes for that the spy agency has been telling me to come and tap your phones, right? So like it was just a scene that was not explained more into detail. I think there was something that was deleted that wasn't added to it.
What I liked about it was the fact that she, through the whole interaction with the guys, the bad guys, she thought they were there for her.
For her.
She's like, Harry, quiet, I'll handle it.
Right.
Let him go. It's me you want. Like, you are so dumb.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's what I mean is like this the whole mission that she was sent on, again, the fake mission, and it's her husband in the end. Like she's not realizing what the hell's going on here. Like, why is my husband here?
Right, yeah.
Right? Like there was no explanation to her until now we get to that, Aziz has now captured Harry and Helen still thinks that she's the one that they want, but in reality it's Harry that they want, right? And like basically Aziz is telling her that he knows more than you think. And we get the scene where they pull the nuclear warhead out of the Persian artifact, and Harry now explains what that actually is, and she's pissed off and doesn't realize it, pissed off that he's been a spy this entire time. And the right hook that she throws at him was freaking amazing. It was a great punch. And I did research. They did that scene multiple times because there were a few times where she actually connected and got those facial features, and it made the final cut. The actual one that connected made the final cut in the movie.
Might as well use it.
Yep, it was great.
I can't remember if it already happened, but Juno arrives too. She arrives in her limo and she meets Harry and who's the woman and
Yep.
blah blah blah. Did we see the limo driver later again? But did you look at the limo driver?
No.
Like he comes out, he opens Juno's door. He's a chubby Arab man,
Yep.
afro, big beard, really looks like a Muppet. Like
I did not pay attention that much.
And I was thinking right off the Muppet Show, right away. And then I was trying to think of which Muppet is he reminding me of, because it's such a special look. And then it came to me. It's the Muppet, the mana.
Why did you have to do that? Now I'm gonna get that song stuck in my head all day.
But it's that guy, the mana guy.
It's not phenomena, it's phenomenon.
No, it's not.
It's phenomenon.
Don't do that. No. You're just trying to get me back for the Bob-omb.
No, it's phenomenon. No, it is Bob-omb. I don't care what you say. It's Bob-omb.
Anyways, yeah. The part 2 where Harry is describing the nuke and that he knows what it is because they're recording him so that they can show that the news. Right after they pull Harry away before she punches him, Aziz starts talking directly to the camera. Right. We are this, we are that, we're blah, blah, blah. And then the man is just dripping sweat. Like, I get it, it's Florida, but you're from somewhere a little warmer. So it's not that. What is going on here? And he starts peeking out. And then we get the shot of the battery. And 100%, this guy's gonna kill me if I stop recording.
As he's putting the camera down, and he's like, "Battery, Aziz."
That's another one. It's a shame. I've said that so many times. For example, we went on a trip to BC 20 years ago, and I was recording the whole time in the car as we were driving because we were lost.
Yeah.
And then the battery was dying, and it was like very Blair Witchy, and I was like, and nobody in the car got me. Nobody. And they were just like, what? Oh, the battery's dying. But God, it was just, I found it hilarious. I don't know if it was meant to be funny, but that poor man, he was terrified for his life.
He was so terrified. Well, and the guys, like, apparently, like, from the movie, like, they made it seem as though this terrorist group was more hardcore than all the other terrorist groups.
Yeah.
It made sense that this guy was scared for his life because this guy was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
And we get a short explanation, which we missed, was how scary this Aziz guy is.
Yeah.
They call him the Sand Spider. And then Charlton Heston was like, oh, why is that? I don't know. Maybe because it sounds scary? Okay.
Yeah. So, great line. Great line. Yeah.
So can you imagine, too, Aziz tells him to go get another battery, doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he doesn't have another battery? And the shortest wait time is 4 hours to charge that battery.
Because we do know that back then, to charge a battery for one of those camcorders was 4 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Easily 4 to 8 hours.
And you don't want to only do like a partial juice up because you're going to need it again for something else right away.
Exactly. But also,
So-
too, if you did a partial juice up back then, it would screw up the percentage of the battery, right? You had to fully charge it. You couldn't halfway charge it because then the next time you charge it would only be a half charge, right? It was such
So
bad,
funny.
so
Poor guy.
funny.
Sorry.
That's okay. So then the next scene, you see Helen and Harry in a hut. I'm going to assume on this island that they're in, and they handcuff them to the chairs. And the wily-eyed, I don't know, torture guy. He was an ugly guy. I'm sorry. I don't know who he is. I apologize, but you were ugly. Gives him a truth serum, and Juno's in there with them and says, "Did you not tell her about us?" And he's like, "There's no us, right? Nothing ever happened." And then she kisses him and basically makes Helen jealous at this point because she thinks that Harry cheated on her. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, okay, you think he cheated on you, but you were about to cheat on him. So you can't be mad at what he's did because you were doing the same thing. Anyways, besides the point. Gives him the truth serum, and then she's like, "So what did he give you?" "Oh, I think he gives him the actual like compound of what it is, and then says truth serum. Why do you have to give the compound of what it is? Why not just say it's truth serum?
Because
She
he's on
doesn't
the truth serum and he has to tell the truth.
know what that is.
It's the correct answer.
I guess it's true. So then she's like, "So is it working?" He's like, "I don't know. Ask me a question. Are we gonna die?" He's like, "Yup."
Yep. That was so funny too.
So funny. Don't care about the rest of the questions that she asks him, just plain Jane stupid ones. And then all of a sudden, crazy wily eye guy comes back in and he's like, "So how would you like to start? Are you going to tell me everything?" He's like, "I'm going to tell you that I'm going to kill you." And it's like, "How are you going to do that?" And in detail, he's like, "I'm going to use you as a human shield, grab that, kill the other guy, and then, I don't know, maybe snap your neck. I haven't decided yet." And he's like, "And how are you going to do that?" "The handcuffs. I picked them." And the guy's wily-eyed, like,
so good.
He did the Van Damme eyes at that point and actually does what he said. He uses him as a human shield, kills the other guy, and snaps his neck. I guess he made the decision, right? The other part was where the other guard's outside and he uses a crowbar and kills him. Like, that was great. Great action scene right there. He steals the gun from one of them, grabs Helen, says, "Follow me." You could tell at this point, like, he's struggling because the truth serum's in him, right? And he like kind of like wobbles around, not really walking around very well. So he kills a couple people, gives Helen the gun, and says, "Take this. I'll figure something out." And then the one-liner, "I married Rambo." Died. Absolutely died because we knew that was a hit towards Stallone at that point, right?
Sure.
This is now in the script. He's like, "I'm going to poke fun at Stallone." Helen's at the top, and you got Harry who's fighting other people, killing all these people, and the scene of her shooting the gun and it's rolling down the stairs. Again, this was more believable than Lone Wolf, where each bullet hits every single terrorist.
Yeah, no matter where they are.
No matter where they are. I'm sorry, that was just bad. It was not believable. I'm like, this was stupid. It's comedic, but I'm like,
it is comedic. Yeah.
It was like she did it, and it was horrible. It was great. It was a great scene to see all those bullets kill everybody.
The shot of while it's rolling down, it pans to the guys, and they're all swarming in, and then they start turning around, running away. It's like, okay, funny.
So we get that everybody's now gone, and everybody's gone. The Omega comes in and helps with everything and gets Harry off of the island. Helen gets kidnapped by Juno at this point, so it's just Harry trying to save his family. Doesn't realize that Aziz is now kidnapped as well, his daughter, in the high rise that they're in right now. So they don't know all this stuff that's going on yet. Harry's comes back to the city, and there's the scene. I might have missed something, so I'm going through what I have right now. But there's the scene of Juno and Helen in the limo. They're going down the bridge, and there's a chopper trying to save Helen. And this reminded me of Fast and Furious, the longest bridge ever. Sure. It's Harry's trying to save Helen. Helen beats the shit out of Juno, smashes her in the head with the wine bottle, knocking her out. Whatever, that's fine. And the helicopter's trying to save Dana. He's like, "The bridge is out. The bridge
Yeah,
is out.
so great.
Can't hear you. I can't hear you. What are you saying?" And then she turns around and he's like, "Harry, the bridge is out."
And he's like,
So, literally a 10-minute long scene. They're driving down this bridge and they haven't hit that bridge is out yet. So again, this
Right.
is why it reminds me of the Fast and the Furious. Saves her, iconic scene, iconic thing where he saves her, and it shows her being held by Arnold Schwarzenegger from the helicopter, and the limo goes off the bridge, and they're just guy flying by. They get landed. They're good to go. Great scene. Great action scene. Awesome. Harry realizes now that his daughter is actually kidnapped by Aziz, and he needs to save her. Another iconic scene where Harry gets into I don't know what that is, jet, what kind of jet it is, but
it's a Harrier jet. I think.
is it a Harrier jet?
Yeah, but
Take
like,
off-
see, this is that point where I thought, the explosion goes off, they kiss, bam, movie's
Done.
over. Yeah, could have ended. You could have rolled credits on that kiss.
Yeah.
They've stopped the bad guys.
But they didn't, because Aziz wasn't done yet.
Well, Aziz wasn't done. Yeah,
Right.
But
but you're
the
right.
bomb
It was
threat.
a good way to end it if they had captured and gotten rid of Aziz at that point. That would have been
Yeah.
a great way to end it. But they didn't catch Aziz, so it continues. The Harrier jet goes up to this building, and like I'm looking at this building and I'm looking at the floor. Like, how did he know which exact floor the terrorists were on?
I don't know.
There was no mention of where they were, so he miraculously came up to the right floor and shot everybody. Everybody was done. All the windows were gone. All the people were dead. The only one that was still alive was Aziz, because he was chasing after Dana, the daughter, because she had the key to the nuclear warhead that they were going to explode off in Florida, wherever they were. And the skyscraper scene where you see Dana on there, that was, to me, one of the iconic scenes again in this movie, where you see the jet going underneath Dana and trying to catch her. You could tell when I rewatched it now that it was some form of CGI.
Okay.
The blue screen, you could tell that it wasn't real. I don't know if you noticed it, but the first time, obviously, watching it, you don't notice it until now when you're actually rewatching it. And it's like, yeah, this is completely fake. There's no way that they're on a skyscraper. There's no way that there's a jet there. It was just blue screen. Excuse me, sorry. And then he's telling Dana, "Jump off." Like, the worst accent. I couldn't understand it like the first time I watched it. And now, to this day, like, Schwarzenegger's a great actor for what he is, but his English was really bad. Not gonna lie, did not understand what he was saying at this point. And she jumps off and almost falls off, grabs onto whatever it is. Aziz also jumps onto the plane as well. Now, again, great scene, unbelievable. There's no way that this happens in real life and they both survive. No way.
Yeah.
Right? It's not happening. Aziz tries to kill Harry. Obviously, Harry figures it out and sees him, and he lands perfectly on a missile. Perfectly on the missile of the jet. What are the chances of that happening? It literally never going to happen. It's one of those scenes that it's unbelievable, but it's also amazing, because he shoots him off, launches into the helicopter explodes, and again, this is where the movie ends. It's done. They land the plane. Dana's alive. Harry's alive. Helen's alive. Movie's over. Should be done. Right? Nothing needs to happen anymore. We get now the final scene, apparently. They're eating dinner. They're having thumb war, and he beats them both, and phone call comes in. Boris and Doris. She turns around and says, "We're on." So this is now the extra scene for the entirety of the movie. This is what I was saying. Like, they have the extra scene. First time I've seen it in movie history, other than Marvel now, or any kind of movie that we see nowadays. And they go to a ballroom, a gala, or gala, whatever you want to call it.
Sorry.
So they're on this mission, and who do they see? Bill Paxton, Simon. And he turns around, he's doing a scumbag thing again, saying that he's a spy to all these people, but turns around and sees Harry, drops the bottle, scared out of his mind, and then Helen pulls up and puts what looks like to be a gun to his throat, and he pisses himself and runs off. Great scene, awesome comedy, great way to end it. Should have ended like that, but it ends with them doing the tango again. Now another iconic scene where it's now him and his wife doing it instead of him and Juno. And that's how the whole movie ends.
I'm confused. Is Helen now taking all the education required to be a spy, to join Omega?
Well, and that's
Has
what I was
she
thinking too, because
been
it says
told?
1 year later.
Yeah,
For her to
it
get
seems like it would take longer than a year for whatever she was, an accountant or whatever, to become
legal assistant. She was a
Yeah,
legal
so
assistant.
it just,
So
I don't know.
it's
And then why are they taking their mission through phone calls like that? Harry never did. He would just go in to the office and find out what's going on and what his assignment was.
that was the other thing too. I didn't understand it, unless that's how they were going moving forward, because it's now a family espionage kind of thing, family spy. They need to be contacted, but you'd think that it wouldn't be a landline that they'd be using, because landlines aren't very secure even back then, right?
Yeah.
So now that we've done that, what would you rate this movie now after a rewatch?
Now, let's see. Still an enjoyable movie. Still some great funny parts.
Yep.
Still some amazing quotable parts. I don't remember what I gave it on the pre-watch. I think I scored it pretty high. Honestly, I think I'm at a 7.
A 7.
Just because there were some parts that I brought up during this that confused me, didn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I would say I would be on the same boat as you. I probably rated it high on our pre-watch. I'm going to say I would give it like an 8.
Okay.
Only because it still was a great storyline. It still had great acting. The writing was good. The comedy was good. There were some parts that, like we mentioned, were not appropriate even for that time.
Right.
So I'm going to give it an 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Still enjoyable.
Awesome.
Still a great
Enjoyable.
movie.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
would highly recommend it. Just don't pay attention to the other parts that we were mentioning before. Still highly recommend.
But if you haven't watched it, do watch it. Comment. Tell us about it. What
Yep.
you thought. If you agreed or disagreed with anything we said here.
Yep. And then, guys, we got Instagram, we have YouTube, we have Spotify, which I haven't been up to date on, so I'm fixing that. But everything else, just like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you got to do.
Awesome.
All right, you guys have a good night.
See you guys.
Thanks for watching 2 Dudes, 1 VHS. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Follow Roma and Alex on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content, and catch the full experience on Spotify too. See you on the next one!